Bruh. So you want to be special at being special. You want to be different from everyone else. Changing your mind that bends the traditional rules of the game. Using scrap for ammo and other devices that range from a robot pet to chemical warfare. If that sounds appealing, you came to the right video. From suffocating your enemies with toxic gas to deploying supply drops for your allies, the specialist is not someone to be looked over. This video assumes that you know the basics of the game. If not, watch my first tutorial video here or not, because you don't have to. It's whatever. I'm gonna put this disclaimer. I'm not gonna read it. This disclaimer applies heavily compared to my other videos because I almost never played the specialist kit, so just keep that in mind. Now in this video, we're gonna cover the kit passives and equipment with upgrades, kit tips and strategy, and a compilation at the end. So the passives of the specialists are 50% faster health regen and a 50% max passive healing and plus 10% fire rate. This means that as the specialist, you heal 50% faster passively up to half of your health, while other kits, except for the medic, heal up to a quarter. And yes, you fire your weapons 10% faster. The specialist's equipment consists of a burst rifle, which is your primary, a tablet, which you can unlock and call strikes, we'll get to that later, a motion hider, and a defibrillator and ammo box. Both of these won't be covered in this video, but if you want to learn more about the ammo box, go to the engineer kit right there. If you want to learn more about the defibrillator, check out my medic video also right here. The specialist plays an unorthodox playstyle using a kit exclusive currency called scrap. Scrap is used as your ammo for your burst rifle only, instead of the traditional ammo percentage. Scrap is also used to unlock and use the various strikes using your tablet, and we'll get to those strikes later once I get to it. At the end of every wave, your scrap is set to 40, and during waves, you will get 10 scraps periodically, stopping at 200, though you can get more through scrap rewards. First off is the burst rifle, and as the name says, it fires 3 rounds in one burst when held down, but I recommend tap firing for more accuracy and faster fire rate, to some extent through my experience. This is exclusive to the specialist only. Most enemies will give scrap when they are killed with this weapon based on the health and damage you dealt to the enemy with any attack. To get these scrap rewards, the burst rifle has to be the one to kill the enemy, not other weapons or from other teammates. Alternatively, rapidly firing only 1 or 2 bullets at a time can provide a faster overall fire rate. Here are the stats. Heals 2 HP on hit, and again, scrap is used as your ammo instead of the traditional ammo percentage. Elimination of most enemies will grant a scrap reward, does 18 damage, and has 20 rounds in one mag. And so here are the upgrades. Both of them cost 14 reserves. The first is the Stonewall, and you need to be level 8. And this upgrade focuses on a more offensive role while sacrificing scrap income and healing capabilities. Killing enemies will fill a bar. This bar is filled after 4 eliminations. Each time this bar is filled, you deal 2 more damage, as well as increasing accuracy and decreasing burst cooldown. Here are the other stats. Plus 4 base damage, bar is not preserved when eliminated, no health regen when hitting enemies, minus 70 RPM burst cooldown, and a minus 25% scrap reward. Be careful when engaging enemies with this weapon, as you won't recover any health by scoring hits on enemies, and dying will reset all the bonuses. You can use either an aid kit or a melee weapon to keep your health up. Having a good medic kit helps substantially too. The initial drawbacks of the Stonewall can be negated with enough pro gamer skill and accuracy. The other upgrade is the Steel Forge, which you need to be level 7. This upgrade improves the default's handling traits and awards more scrap on eliminations. This is great for specialists who want to use their strikes more often, thanks to the increased scrap rewards. The increased accuracy, magazine size, and extra burst size boost the effectiveness of the Steel Forge in general, especially at longer ranges. Here are the stats. Plus 10 clip size, minus 0.3 degrees of spread, plus 2 burst size, plus 25% scrap reward, and it also has a minus 70 RPM burst cooldown, just like the Stonewall. Moving on to the tablet, and this device is used to unlock and use 6 various strikes at the cost of scrap. You can press R to toggle the menu on and off. And so here are the 6 strikes. First are the Rangers. It costs 100 scrap to unlock and 50 scrap to deploy with a limit of 1. This strike spawns a friendly ranger as opposed to the enemy's counterpart. It fires a burst of 3 sticky bombs while running to the nearest enemy. It has a lifetime of 30 seconds and has a 90% damage penalty against bosses. The Ranger is good for taking out enemies from a safe distance, but be sure not to deploy Rangers too close to enemies as the self-destruct damage is moderate. The next strike is the EMP, and it costs 80 scrap to unlock and deploy. The EMP disables mechanical enemies in a small AoE, effectively freezing them in place. The next strike is the Bullet Stormer, and it costs 200 scrap to unlock and 100 scrap to deploy, with a 60-second cooldown after deploying, as well as a limit of 1. After a small delay, an airdrop will land in the deployed area, signifying with the red smoke and yellow ring. Any player standing in this area will have their firearms buffed, with increased reload speed and fire rate, and any ammo expended will cost half as much. It lasts 30 seconds after deploying, and it can be destroyed by enemy fire. I believe this previously was the airstrike, which I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know why they replaced it with the Bullet Stormer, but hey, it's up to them, not me. The next strike is the Neuro Cloud. It costs 50 scrap to unlock and 30 to deploy, with a limit of 3. It creates a purple gas that slowly damages non-mechanical and non-boss enemies, suffocating them. The gas lasts 20 seconds. It's a good cheaper option to weaken enemies before finishing them off with the burst rifle for more scrap rewards. The next is the Air Burst Grenade. It costs 20 scrap to unlock and 15 to deploy. It flings regular enemies away from you, and it can be used to buy yourself time in a pickle. The last but not least is the Knockout Grenade. It costs 170 scrap to unlock and 60 scrap to deploy. This stuns regular enemies for a period of time, marking them with the strike symbol. This stops them from moving or attacking, making it easier to kill them. Now on to the Motion Hider. Again, it's an exclusive item to the specialist, just like the tablet and burst rifle. In an emergency, it will automatically turn you invisible, and this can only happen once per wave. When activated, you will become invisible along with granting you double speed for 10 seconds. When invisible, most enemies will stop attacking you, but there are some exceptions. Prometheus, Gunners, Cloakers, and sometimes Tempests can still see you even when you are cloaked. If you try engaging enemies while invisible, you will automatically become visible. While invisible though, you can heal, revive teammates, and even refill turrets, which can come in clutch. In the early waves, use your burst rifle to get scrap to unlock as many strikes as you can. In my personal opinion, I recommend getting the Ranger first. Try to target enemies away from your teammates, as if they get the final shot on an enemy, you won't get any scrap, and it's a waste of your current scrap. Be sure to spend as much scrap as you can before the wave ends, as at the end of every wave, your scrap will be set to 40. To fire the burst rifle and its upgrades faster, fire in short bursts for more accuracy and to negate the burst delay on the weapons. The upgrades of the burst rifle depend on your playstyle. If you want to use the strikes more often, go for the Steel Forge. Otherwise, go for the Stone Wall for more direct damage. Purchasing a jetpack will greatly help with mobility and save the tablet for emergencies. You can purchase other weapons like the rifle and the armory, since none of your default equipment uses ammo. This can be paired up with your burst rifle for different situations, to use up everything that has been provided for you. All bosses are immune to the effects of your strikes, so use your strikes against regular enemies and use other weapons against them. The only exception is the ranged projectiles, which can still damage them, but the self-destruction has no effect. Now for the compilation of the footage I've gathered for this video. Before that, I want to thank y'all for the immense support of this Dummies vs Noobs kit tutorial series. It's sad that this game only averages around 500 people daily, but I hope this video series introduces some new people and bring back the more experienced people. If you want other content, my current game interests are Black Hawk Rescue Mission 5 and Zenless Zone 0, which are two very different types of games. If you want to see that, subscribe. Leave a positive comment too while you're there. Okay, now I'll show you the compilation. And God bless, guys. We can't revive you, stupid.
Do we not know how to revive or something?
It was mutilated.
You can't revive mutilated people.
Do we not know how to rip or something?
Oh, what the heck? Oh shoot, that's the... What were you thinking? Oh my... Okay, thank you. Why are the medics focused on killing the teleporter, but not... Excuse you? I need some wower. Oh goodness.